I have forgotten how hard this music goes when you start this game. This game's got a great soundtrack. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to another Holodeck Hours episode. This time, we're checking out DUSK, but we're not checking out DUSK as one may think. We are checking out some of the mod levels that are available with the SDK changes they made last year. They put out a blog post / news post on the Steam page, kind of talking about how it's been, you know, I think the game came out in 2018, 2017, 2019, something like that, about 5 or 6 years ago, and they were celebrating with, you know, the HD mode, which this actually is not. From everything I could tell, you aren't able to use mods with the HD version of the game yet. I very well could be wrong. If you know better, please leave me a comment or let me know. I'd be happy to check out some more of these mods with the HD mode enabled. But we're loading this up in the modded mode. I've already gone ahead and downloaded some of those maps that they had talked about in that news post and got them loaded up here. So I thought as part of an Holodeck Hours, you know, the Holodeck Hours is kind of like a shorter series where just taking a look at games I'm playing or things that I'm practicing or training, if you want to call it, trying to get better at a game, or just kind of small mini series that aren't for the longer syndicated stuff I'm recording for the main channel. So this is a part of that series. But without further ado, let's give some of these levels a run. I've checked them out a little bit, just make sure that they all work beforehand. So we'll probably, these that we're going to be checking out are mostly the endless modes that they release as part of the update, and if we have a little bit of time at the end, we'll check out one of the actual full maps. We'll probably do another episode that checks out some of the full maps, but I'm gonna try and like do maybe 10 or so minutes in each one of these endless maps to give you a flavor. We'll do a little bit of the chatty and get on with it. I'm gonna run these in I Can Take It, because I am not a sadist and I am by no means fantastic at this game. Oh, man, already in it. I love the graphics of these games. New Blood, the creator of this series, and by series I should say Dusk, Ultra Kill, and a Medieval. I've beaten a Medieval and its DLC, The Black Labyrinth. I have not checked out Ultra Kill. I may have it, I may not have it, I can't remember. I have quite literally thousands of games between Amazon, GOG, Epic, and Steam. Probably multiple thousands. A lot of which are given away for free. I've not spent that much money. Spent a lot of money, but not to the order that would require thousands upon thousands of games. I am a prolific viewer of r/game deals, slick deals, my millions of other subreddits that track free games that they give away, and I claim them with a fury, to say the least. But yes, if I do not have Ultra Kill, I will someday. Maybe we'll play it on the channel. But that is not what this is about. This is about Dusk and these modded levels. So I will say this level, before I get too deep into other stuff, is I believe it's the Switch exclusive endless level that they released. It's called Mamma Mia's Flesh Palace, which is oh my gosh, now that I say that, I did not realize why it was called that, and now I totally do. This is the Mushroom Kingdom, right? And from Mario 64, that is hilarious. I played this maybe did 30 minutes on this level earlier just to see how long it went, and I did not see that at all. That is totally Nintendo would never approve of such a thing. That's what they called it, Mamma Mia's. That's awesome, dude. So I will say these levels are fun, right? I love this game. I love the graphic style. I love the chunkiness. I don't think I have I don't really mess with the settings on this moddable version too much. I can't remember if I had bilinear filtering or any of that stuff set up on my main, because this has 3 or 4 different executables you can run, and this is the moddable one used to load the custom levels, which are a little glitchy, to say the least. but these default chunky boy settings are perfectly fine for the evening, for the job. All right, but this one in particular, out of the, I'll check for him. Out of the 4 or 5 we're gonna check out, this one might be the easiest. I'm actually not taking the easy route this time. I played this for, like I said, like way too long. Kind of cheesing it. You can basically just, let's see, these guys are the Wonder Boys, the Melta Gunners, which is not their name, but they do remind me of Melta Gunners from Warhammer 40k. You can really, they give you, I should be getting a mortar here in a moment. You can really just kind of sit in here and drop bombs down into the center level, that center passage there. Take these guys out one moment, and probably go ad nauseum for this. I don't know if there's a community for the endless levels. There's probably some pretty cool speed runs of Dusk. I have not looked. The levels themselves from the main campaign are super well designed. There's the crossbow. The music, man, just bangs in this. I think this is just the main theme. All the guns, man, they feel so good in this. Tell you what. Alright, we gotta be careful here. How did you get up there? He's walking down. You actually can. As you can see, these guys are. You can actually get up that way, too. Ooh, right. Watch that. It would be fun to play through Dusk again. Kind of mentioned, I've already beaten it a couple of times in my free time, and I feel like a lot of people have probably played this. This game, I feel, revitalized the boomer shooter interest kind of in the late 2010s. At least to me, it felt like after this drop, there was just a flurry of people trying to capitalize on the nostalgia train of making these games that were just like, at least when I was growing up, this was such, I don't know why I'm trying to nail this like I'm a, oh, I got it. Never mind, it's because I'm a pro. I'm not a pro, I lied. I feel like this game really, or people really capitalized on that nostalgia train when this came out, because there definitely were still, you know, old school first-person shooters coming out, but yeah, when I was a kid, this was like the meat and potatoes, man. You got your Duke Nukems, you got your Dooms, your Quakes, your Unreal, anything else kind of that 90s, 2000 era, Doom 3, Quake 4, yada yada. All these just like kind of linear first-person shooters. Now, this is much more reminiscent of like Quake. Nah, maybe early Unreal. This is a little more chunky than early Unreal, but definitely Doom. Although Doom also, this is a little chunkier. This is a little better, a little higher. This is more Quake 2. More Quake 2. But God, after this one came out, I swear, it was just like so many people kind of got back into it, which I loved. One of my favorite boomer shooters, and it is definitely like Painkiller, if you are familiar. Yeah, these guys, they really just keep on spawning. It gets crazier. I can't remember. I think I'm like 15 or 20 waves, and with this level, unfortunately, it is just very easy to get up on the top there. I guess I also could probably bump the difficulty up, although the damage increases. I don't know if it actually increases the... it probably increases the number of enemies on screen. This difficulty I like, though, because it's nice to chill in. Go, I need to get done. But yeah, Painkiller, if you haven't played it, is like one of the best in the genres. I played Hell and Damnation, I think, is the remake, and then there was Black, which I think was like a collection of all the DLCs or something like that, or was like a later remake of the series. But those games are great. They kind of have a similar, you know, just throw you in a room full of a whole bunch of baddies. You collect their souls. You get enough of their souls, you get 1 million. Or it's like you get like 100 souls, and then you can turn into a demon and just like warp time and blow the enemies up. Such a great game. It actually runs really well on the Steam Deck too. It's one of those where I've been playing it for maybe like 7 or 8 years, which sounds insane, but I am very much a person where I will play a game if it's like, I'm just... Okay. Funny, the last time I played this, I really did just sit on the top there. It's much more fun being interactive like this. They should spawn more stuff on the top. Just making sure I'm getting all these thingamajiggies. Whew. There we go. But yeah, I'll get into a mindset where I'm like, I really want to play, like, I have so much stuff like it. Like, a good example is, you know, funnily enough, is like World of Tanks. I don't want to say I've been playing World of Tanks, because I think I'm probably done with it, but I played it, you know, maybe 10 or 11 years ago. And every year I'd be like, man, I really enjoyed that game, and I would play it, and I always kind of just get burned out from the grind, or just from being really bad, or both. The last time I played that, and this is, you know, the Infinite Side Stories, and I think we'll probably switch levels after this wave, because you've pretty much seen what this one has to offer. Mamma Mia's Flesh Palace. It really just kind of repeats, and it's a fun little jaunt to get back to this game, but it's nothing remarkable. But yeah, I will pick up something like I was saying, World of Tanks 10 years ago, and want to just experience it for a little bit, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll play it again. You know, the next time I feel like wanting to play it or forget how much I didn't like it, will take about a year, and I'll just do that for, you know, a decade, and then just slowly eventually stop playing them, which kind of brings me back to what I was saying with World of Tanks, where the last time I played that boy, what I realized was, I don't know if it's just a product of, you know, wargaming, or maybe just me being out of it for too long, but I like World of Tanks gameplay. I like pretty much everything about it, other than the crazy, you know, pay-to-win model. But I just couldn't figure out, like, what to do. There's so many mechanics in that game now, like a million different ammo types and a million different tech trees, and some tanks are just completely useless and you're wasting your time, and they have a million different consumables and things you gotta mount, and it just became really overwhelming, where all I really wanted to do was, like, kind of what I did back in the day. Pick a very basic tank, and then just, like, have tank first-person tactical shooter matches with other players. But the last time I got into it, I just got overwhelmed by the millions of things I had in my garage, and do I grind for certain tanks? Do I do missions? It just became overwhelming. And then, coupled with the fact that every time I opened it, and if I had like a month of premium or something, I felt so compelled to play it. It just became too stressful for me. But I do like those types of games. World of Warships I really enjoyed as well. Painkiller falls into that category as well for me. Games I'll revisit every once in a while. Like I said, I have it on the Steam Deck. I'm like probably halfway through Black. Maybe three-quarters. Maybe three-quarters of the way through Black. Great game. Would highly recommend it if you're into boomer shooters. It's one of the greats. It's definitely one of the greats. We're gonna go out with a blaze of glory right here. For the boys. 11 minutes, not bad. Let's see. We're gonna load up the next one here, which is a Gogatorium. You can probably guess, if you are familiar, what this one takes inspiration from. GOG refers to the good old games platform, GOG, like the video game distributor. This level's pretty cool. It reminds me of like a early Quake or Unreal level, and it's got this cool thing too, where okay, sorry, we gotta sickle this bad boy. Sickle that boy. Let's see. Whoa, yeah. The sickles in this game are so sick. This first level in Dusk is just so good. Everything about this game is good. It is. If you have not played this and you are into this, man, It is a absolute treat, to say the least. These levels are not, if this is your first viewing of Dusk, most levels are not like this. This is very much just endless kind of arena stages. Where, yeah, that's actually the cool thing I want to show. You can do like these weird Spider-Man flingamajigs to get around the level, which is kind of cool. Yeah, definitely check out Dusk if you have not. I assume most people have played it at this point. But, you know, you never know. You never know. I'm super into a million niche things. I love hunting for and finding, like, hidden gems. This is not one of those. This is definitely not one of those DAE hidden gem Reddit posts. This is the game I really felt throughout this forward. The music for this level is sick. I don't know if this is another shared track or if this is one specifically for God. It is cool they made these couple of custom levels. I don't know how they... This one, I guess, was what they probably all showed up under the Endless tab. There actually is like an Endless tab in the game normally that allows you to just do a couple levels with an Endless mode. That's a little bit of help. I don't want to die. Although we may die. Cool. Really? Take 2 of those. Ooh, skeet shooting. Oh, man. Yeah, so this stuff gives you health back. It all gives you a little bit of armor. This level, well, not just this level, but all of these endless levels. This level actually, I guess a little bit in particular, does remind me of another roguelike. I want to start, I'm probably going to be doing another kind of mini series like the Holodeck Hours that's more focused on rogues, roguelikes, whatever you want to call them. Games with short play sessions that are repeatable or have permadeath elements, as they say. To focus on, like, just me playing through episodes of, I don't know, just, I have so many roguelikes I want to show off and play, but doing full series of them is probably not the most entertaining thing. I really like videos where I kind of just can peek into one of a series and watch somebody play, so I've got some planned for those, and as one of those I was thinking about doing is this game I got through the... I just got gibbed by somebody. These guys are a pain in the butt, these flying things. Oh, I didn't even realize that was going that way. Adults and boys. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. We need a little bit more health. These guys suck. All these guys suck. Hold that thought. That should really be the SpockPlays channel motto, is hold that thought. Or page fault. I was thinking about that earlier. There's so many times where I'll just go off on a tangent and I'll like pause to think deeply about something. Very much reminds me of how a computer, if you're familiar with hard disks, when a page fault occurs, which is like your computer, you'll hear it like if you have a hard disk, you know, like not an SSD or flash memory or anything like that, no M2s, none of that new school good business, but one of those good old spinning metal platters. You hear your computer, if you like click on something you haven't clicked on in ages, just go, oh, these guys suck. Oh, not good, not good, not good. Ugh. It's okay. It's this one. It's super loud. Why am I? Hard disks will, you know, when you click on like an icon or something you haven't clicked on forever, you'll get that of like the hard drive initializing to load something either into like your virtual memory or your RAM or something like that. That's how I feel when I'm trying to remember stuff and I'm just talking, and it happens in real life all the time. I'll just be chatting with people and be like, pause for way too long to think, like, to try and get the right answer about something, and I'll totally lose my train of thought. That is probably one of my most iconic features, if you want to call it that. My girlfriend hates it. My friends, they don't hate it. Nobody hates it. They know that's how it be. Anyways, yeah, hold that thought or page fault would be a great motto for this channel. So I am constantly trying to remember way too many things at once. Yeah, so that last level was the... And I am switching between them a little bit quickly. I tried to do a little bit of recording earlier and had some more recording snafus. I need to switch over to something a little bit easier and more consistent with my recording setup. I've got all of the tools, none of the time. And when I lose time, it is a pain. But pausing at those level screens is so loud. They like enemies bunch up, and oh my gosh, it ear users beware. So I will be trying to get off them real quick. But the last level, yeah, that was the good old games endless level, and they kind of, I guess, in that update I alluded to where they talked about releasing these. We are. Scythe are so sick in this game. What is this for? That's just health. We need ammo. We need ammo. There we go. Also should not waste my ammo. You end up getting a lot in here. There we go. Man, all the enemies in this game are just so freaking cool. So well designed. This game is an honest... This was a 10 out of 10 for me when it came out in 2018. But... You can also get the channel on, but... Yeah, in that news update, they announced that they had these 5 or 6 endless levels from various kind of re-releases of the game on various platforms. So the last one was GOG. This one... I like the design of this level a lot better. It's called the Quiet Mound, and that is the best name out of any of these levels. That might be the best name of any level in the game, period. So if you're a survival horror fan, Escher Labs. I'm not sure the reference there. What does it say? Restricted area. It is unlawful to enter area without insultation commander. So what if you're a survival horror fan, what does this remind you of? Deep fog, run-down old buildings, overall creepiness, fence, police. This is Silent Hill. And if you think about Silent Hill, Quiet Mound, I think you can put the pieces together, but yeah, I was playing this earlier and cracking up when that occurred to me. Oh man, I forgot about these guys. These guys are from like the, that sound is so strange. It's like a creaky door. Those guys, I think, are from the like cathedral levels in the 3rd act of Dusk. Whew. All the guns in this game sound so freaking good. I am such a gun game sound of guns and other effects in game stand. Like, listen to that, man. That sounds chunky. It sounds like it has weight. It sounds like it's meaningful. That's what you want, man. If you don't want these weak sounding guns. You want it to sound like it's making a difference. Even if it doesn't, even if the gun sucks, I still think you should make your guns chunky. Back when I was a wee young lad in the like 2007, 2006 era, I played a lot of this little game you may have heard of. It was an indie game. Some people still play it now. It's called, I think, Counter Hit or Counter Strike. Counter Strike. I don't know if you've heard of that. I don't know why I'm like this. But yeah, I played a lot of Counter Strike growing up, and there was this website, I think it's still around, I think it's called FPS Banana now, but at the time it was called Game Banana, and it just let you, it was just like a repository for custom models and like replacements of skins and sounds, etc. for a lot of games that allowed for it, Counter-Strike being one of them. So I used to love, this predates like the current skin market in, almost gotta be careful with those melted boys. This predates like skins and knives and all that stuff being added to Counter-Strike source by, I think, at least a decade. Maybe not a decade, but almost a decade for sure. I was doing that crap for a very long time. But yeah, one of the big things I would always do, oh, those guys like don't like, yeah, take them out. Nice. Thanks. Tanks. I used to love going in and modifying like the base Glock to just have like a crazy non-Glock-like sound, just so it sounded more powerful, because it would make me like, I don't know, I always like that. I'm a big sound guy. Oh man, don't puke on me. We're probably gonna die here. Yeah, all these levels, you know, we could go heavy. Oh, geez, that is like one of the best enemy designs, is that weird, tall, lanky leg lady thing. All right, a little bit of health. Oh wow, not a little bit of health, a lot of health. I did not realize that. It's good to know. And I love the whole like Doom as well, like gotta pick up your weapon, pick up your ammo, and no really reloading. I nailed it with this game. This lady. Oh man. Nice. But yeah, these levels, they just repeat. This is about the gist of it. They're fun to play. I would definitely recommend checking them out if you haven't played Dusk in a while and you want to get like a little boomer shooter fix. Boomer. Oh man, I'm losing my mind, y'all. But yeah, they're cool. It's cool that they just read. Oh man, we ate that for breakfast, dude. Holy cow. Alright, so that was the Quiet Mound, best named level in the game. And next, we are going to check out, I think this one on the store, or on the store. You can get all these, if you already own Dusk, if you go to the Steam Workshop page for this, you can view all the mods. Wave one, hold on now. Don't hit me while I'm trying to talk. Very rude. Yeah, you can go onto the workshop, and then you just hit, if you're not familiar with Steam. Oh, I'm gonna die here. Oof. We're gonna run that back. That was not intentional. I got too distracted for my own good. Yeah, just go into the Steam Marketplace community area, look up the game, and then you can subscribe to the mod, and it'll download it to the mods folder, and then you just when you launch if you launch Dusk from the Steam launcher itself rather than from like a desktop shortcut, it'll prompt you for what version of the game you want to play, and then just pick a Dusk moddable, and then go to campaign custom levels, as you have seen me do a few times here, and you can check out some of these levels for yourself. You probably saw as well, I have a decent amount of these loaded. I don't know how many of them still work. You really can't save from what I read with them due to some restrictions in the SDK, or maybe it's just a bug or something like that. But yeah, subscribe to, if you look up like, yeah, the Gloomy Place, the Quiet Mound, Mamma Mia's Flesh Palace, you can check them out yourself just by loading them up via that screen. Alright, and this level is awesome. This is from Gloomwood. I don't know if it's just like they were friends with Gloomwood devs. I think Gloomwood is out. Or it's in early access. It's definitely, I know it's like a rogue-like kind of retro-y graphics. I don't know if it's a boomer shooter. It may be a boomer shooter. But it's been on my to-buy list for a while now. I just have so many games like this, which part of me does kind of, yeah, want to do a boomer shooter, like just an always running boomer shooter series, because I really do. It's like RPGs, boomer shooters, and racing games. And pinball right now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm super obsessed with pinball at the moment. Are like my guilty pleasures. Some stuff, like there are some racing games I love that I just wouldn't, you know, some stuff it's tough. I love Trackmania, for example, 2020, all of them for real on it. I've talked about this before, but it's like, yeah, just making Trackmania, like me just playing through like the season levels as somebody who kind of sucks at Trackmania, not terribly interesting. but would it be fun? Absolutely. Nice. Let's grab some health. But boomer shooters, there's just so many of them, and you don't have to be terribly good. Unless you're playing something like Blood from like the 90s on like max difficulty. Some of those are just sadistically hard. Maybe not even realistic to beat. But linear boomer shooters, right up my alley. Gloom one looked cool though. I'm definitely going to pick it up at some point. This level is probably my favorite of the lot. At least so far. There's one I did not check out that I know has a very long loading screen. That will be the next level we check out after we make some headway on this one. You find some health. I mean, this thing is awesome. This would actually make a pretty cool... I wonder if you can play this on... Oh! Almost ate it right there, boy. Oh, cannot stop moving. 12 is not good. All right, come on. Where's the health? That was not a good sound. There's a little bit of health. Yeah, there's a Dusk World multiplayer. There's really nobody ever on it. I've checked it out a couple times, but that'd be so much fun to like just organize like a play day of everybody just jumping on, playing some Dusk multiplayer for a couple hours, and then just like going about our ways. I think about that all the time, man. Back in the day, that was like Hamachi or other early, dating myself, early 90s. Not early 90s. Early 2000s tech. Definitely early 2000s tech. Oh, there we go. Get your, to be able to play local games with your friends, like that were emulated or stuff like that, or that only worked on local area networks. That was a huge thing back in the day before the internet really took hold, was Hamachi and like games that were like being able to play multiplayer games and LAN parties locally, you know, before they got like server hosting and stuff. What a great little thing. I wonder how that worked. I probably could figure it out. It's one of those things that I honestly have not thought about in a really long time. I wonder if it's created like a VPN to your... I really have no idea. Maybe like... Because I know you needed to have like port forwarding so that you could get people to connect to your local network. Must have been some sort of like little tunnel. Then people would connect to your local network and you could play with them. I used to play like the old... what do you call it? Like Star Wars, Jedi Academy and stuff. Used to do that with Hamachi and all sorts of other stuff that predates like the internet being the way it is now with game hosting. Man, this level is awesome. Yeah, I wonder if this is like a level from the game or just based like the level from Gloomwood or just based off of the art style. Oh man. Another thing I think about a lot is like this art style in particular, right? Like chunky 90s pixel graphics. I mean, this is not pixel, this is more like Quake and Doom era. Oh man. Hold that thought. There we go. This is definitely more of that era, like almost Unreal 1, Unreal Tournament, stuff like that. But to me, it's heavily nostalgic. This is so many of the games that I played growing up looked like this, and of course, nostalgia is one of those things. You know, you try and guard yourself from it, but you can't. Everybody is nostalgic for something or another, and this art style to me, it's like I both love it from an aesthetic standpoint, but I also know I love it from a nostalgic standpoint. But I always wonder, right? It's like, will this, because, you know, a lot of stuff like after this, very much, at least to me, starts to look the same. How are we gonna get this boy? I don't think we have a hunting rifle. He's the Melta boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Don't shoot me. The pistol doth like to miss. There we go. Let's see if we can get a little closer. But yeah, I think about it a lot, right? Like 2010 and like onward, like PS2 had a very like unique style, at least I think, because of the graphic engine restraints. But nowadays we just have so much processing power You know what I mean? Making a game like this is very much a artistic decision. You have to... Oh! Alright, let's load up the next one. This one takes a minute to load, so we'll continue our story there. I think this is Fallen Endless Aces, I believe is the Endless level. Fallen Hearts might be like the actual level version of it. This one takes a very long time to load. Hopefully my capture doesn't crash. But I think about this a lot, where it's like, nowadays, our computers can render near realistic versions of people, and graphics engines have advanced so far that choosing to make a game in this style where you're pixel art or, you know, heavily voxelized or low poly is very much an artistic decision rather than cutting edge like it was back in the day. And there is, I think, you know, this aesthetic lends itself to certain things. I think survival horror is definitely like perfect for this because it's just kind of creepy, right? Like this, it's mysterious. It's not. You kind of have to assume a little bit with what you're seeing. Oh man, yeah, this has a banger track. I forgot about this. Yeah, boy. Straight banger. So yeah, you know, 10 years from now, will we see games that still look hyper realistic? Absolutely. I'm sure a lot of them will still be. Will we still see games that are that are still like hyper stylized? Absolutely. Will we continue to see games that are like this? I think so, just because there's going to continue to be people like who were, you know, either my age or around my age, or even people who are younger or older than me right now that interacted with this type of graphic that's still nostalgic for this. But, you know, the prevalence of it right now, I think, is peak nostalgia, right? It's like 20 years after any sort of trend, nostalgia kicks in because people who were around during those time periods now have more money and can afford to acquire things that they could not at those ages, right? That's like a huge part of, you know, why cars from 20 years ago become popular all of a sudden, and styles and trends. It's like, okay, now you're not just a poor kid, you're a poor adult, and you can make bad decisions with your money instead of just having no money. I jest a little bit, but yeah, I'm just curious if like this style will like pixel and voxels will still continue to be an aesthetic decision, because in art, right, there's what is it? It's like pointillism or scintillism or something like that, where you do like the little dots to draw out an image, and then there's people who do mixed media art, where, you know, there are ways with AI and, you know, Photoshop and, you know, just the level of mediums. Like, you can have every single color in the world, every single paint, and the best paintbrushes, and all the time in the world, and you can do, you know, this, that, the other, digital art, to make something that is incredibly detailed. But there are still art styles like pottery or sculpture that are you know, intentionally imperfect, and that is an artistic decision. So I just think about that a lot. Is it just nostalgia? I think that's a huge part of it. Is it that there's actually merit to the way these things look, and will the style be timeless? I hope so, just because I'm nostalgic for it, but I don't know. I think about that a lot. I think the best way to ask is, like, I really haven't talked to people who are maybe 20, 25 years my junior, and seen, hey, you know, do you like the way this looks, or do you prefer, you know, kind of something maybe like Fortnite or I don't even know, League of Legends or something like that, you know, that's like got immense popularity, that has smooth and kind of like recognizable graphics. Will that be what is nostalgic for people of that generation? Yes, I would assume. They don't have nostalgia, of course, for things that I grew up with 20 years ago, but will they find like this value, or this just be immediately dated to them? Because I feel like there is definitely a cutoff for nostalgia in games. Yeah, this guy's just hiding up there. There's a cutoff, right? Like, for me, it's Atari. I definitely played Atari growing up. My neighbor had one, had a 2600. But it was old at the time, right? Like when I was growing up, I had a Genesis. That was my first console. And then my dad got a PlayStation 1 when I was, you know, maybe 7 or 8 or something like that. And those are the consoles like that are core memories for me. Most of the games that I played, I mean, the PlayStation 1 has had a massively impactful, a massive impact on my style, the games I play, the things I like to watch. It's just, you know, that's why I'm playing this right now. It just looks like a PS1 game, except that it has better controls and analog stick integrated at every XY turn you can make. But can we go in here? Oh. Interesting. Okay, so there are still a couple areas you can like kind of hide in. All these levels are not terribly difficult in terms of you can definitely find a spot to camp out and just beat the level. I wonder what this is based off of. I forgot it. I think it did say, and I just forgot what this one was from. It is sick, though. I'm curious what the actual level is for this. Maybe we'll have some time here. It looks like we have a little bit of time at the end, as long as we'll probably wrap this run up in a moment here. As you can kind of see it, they do... We could bump up the difficulty to crazy and, like, just get bodied, but I feel like that's less enjoyable. It's more fun just to see the maps and let you all try it out for yourself if you so desire. But yeah. Like I was saying earlier, another page fault moment. For me, the line was, yeah, kind of like Atari, Commodore 64, and Z Spectrum stuff. Like, okay, a great example is like Ultima 1, which I don't even know. Maybe I think it was for the Power PC. I don't have any nostalgia for stuff of that nature, where it was like the very early computer games. Now, the first computer I remember having was using like 8-inch floppies. No doubt. I remember having a cardboard box that my parents made me a little, I don't know why. I don't know why they're putting their son in a cardboard box, but I had a cardboard box as a chair to sit on / in, and then that was on the floor next to one of these super early, I forgot about these guys too. Super early computers where the games were like, I mean, there is so, like, predates DOS, right? Like, there were so many low budget games back then where they were cranking out like 5 a week, and they were just, you know, so many games I remember as a kid where it was like, oh, press spacebar and the guy does a flip, and then there's like 6 other that press spacebar and the guy rides a bike, and then spacebar to make him jump off, and that was the full game. That was very much like when I was growing up, just going out of vogue. And I just don't have a lot of nostalgia for that type of stuff. I'm sure some people do, but I also think there just wasn't a, like, you know, the original Pitfall, right? Original Atari, Pong, stuff like that. The ideas were good, but the execution wasn't all the way there. The PlayStation 1, Super Nintendo, even the NES, like that era was when people, where the mechanics were kind of, you know, starting to solidify, design decisions were made a bit more ahead of time, and I just feel like because of that, you know, I guess that what I'm trying to say is, like, think about a game like chess, right, where it's super old, but the mechanics are strong and it's replayable because it's ageless. I don't feel those early Power PC games like that. I feel like they show their age very well, and because of that, that's why I'm not nostalgic for them, because they just aren't. They show I think they're interesting from a historical standpoint. I do like looking back on that stuff, but I just have no urge to go back to it. So, long tangent, I know, but I'm curious if, like, the generations after us will continue to make stuff in the style, even though it wasn't necessarily a part of their day-to-day or something they even remotely grew up with. There's a term for that. Is it an anachronism? Is that what I'm thinking of? That might be the word. I think it's an anachronism. I'm gonna die here. I think an anachronism is the word. Something that is out of place for the time and day. It's like out of place. I could very well be wrong. But anyways, that's what I'm getting at. It'll be interesting to see. I hope they stick around. That is my long old guy rant. I'm not old, I promise. But I feel older every day, especially on the internet. I'll tell you that. The rate of change is too fast. This level's sick, man. This might be from, there's this game that came out this year, or I keep saying this year, it's 2025. I think it was late last year. It was like Questionable Doubt or something like that. It's like kind of a detective-y roguelike. That might be what this from. Might be what this is from. I totally could be. That was loud. Oh, what is that? I forgot about those. There's so many enemy types I forgot about in this game. This game rocks. This game is just sick. This level's fun too. Actually, this one might be my new favorite. The Gloomwood one and this level are definitely like the coolest out of the Endless. All right. Let's see. Chainsaw Man, would you like to do the honors? Take me home. Gone, true rope. Alright. Oh no, we don't want to do that. And so, let's see. For the last one, we'll try and see what happens when we load. Is it Fallen Hearts was just the one, Endless Days. So let's try and load Follow. We'll see. I think this is the level version, and I think that was the Endless version of the level, but we'll find out here shortly. And these levels, yeah, they put the first time I loaded this up, I thought it did crash my game. But they just have a lot more assets than I think the engine was ready for with some of these levels. That being said, this level I think is kind of long if it is the case, so we'll boot it up and see if it works. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm just such a sucker for all this old school stuff. Okay, sweet. Okay, so this is totally the actual level. That is sick. I got a big grin on, I'm telling you right now. How long this level is? There's 3 secrets, 70 kills. Okay, yeah, we can run this. This will be the last one in this little Dusk adventure. I'll do another episode where we take a. I'm gonna check out a few more. Yeah, like it's kind of weird too, right? Like it's got like some cell shading. I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna double check and see what level this is inspired by, or what game this is inspired by. But we'll do one more where we run a few more of the custom levels, because this has been just super fun playing through these. One for you, and another for you. Heretic. Very cool. Who knows? Maybe this is not inspired by a game. Maybe this is just one that the creators called out as being hella sick. Ooh, nice. The story in the original Dusk is I vaguely remember it. I don't think it has like it's kind of supposed to be a bit mysterious, but I do vaguely remember the military or there's some sort of purge going on, and there's no heroes, to say the least, in any of these games. Okay, so this is like, it's like a reimagine. That Endless level is like got a bit more. Yeah, like we weren't going down there, so it's just like the upper grounds of that. Yeah, that would make a great multiplayer level as well. It definitely would. I don't know why I'm looking for secrets. That's just embedded within me. I can't not breadth first search every single level. I'm an authorized vehicle. You need the yellow key. Okay, never mind. Man, yeah, I'm also curious. I gotta take a look at the SDK for some of this stuff. This stuff's super fun. I always think to myself, I'm like, man, it'd be so much fun to make some mods or, you know, to get involved with that stuff, but nowadays it's a little bit more realistic for me. Right, we gotta be careful with this. Is that double box? I used to do a lot of coding in my professional life. Not so much nowadays. I still view and read and look at and consider things about code every single day, but I'm just gonna slap you. Okay, not slapping, maybe not the best idea for whatever those things were. But nowadays, I do more architecture than anything else, so a lot more consultation, reviewing, and kind of giving advice. At least that's what I like to think my job is. You know, I guess that is true, but back in the day when I was a developer, like a hardcore, like writing code, committing code, building code every day, I just had no energy to, at the end of the day, after staring at a screen all day, to come home and continue to write code. It did not preclude me from coming home and continuing to stare at a screen all day and play video games, but it's always felt different. You know, video games are a way to escape. At least for me, they are. It's kind of relaxing. Woo! Got the boys. Them goaty boys. But nowadays, yeah, because I don't code as much, I've thought, you know, maybe it is time to see if doing some game stuff with all of my coding knowledge would be enjoyable. I definitely have made some very mediocre games in the past. I've written a lot more enterprise type code in my lifetime, more .NET and Java and C++ type stuff for business purposes, but I did a lot of graphics engine work in college, so I am familiar with most of what you need, and I have definitely made some basic game prototypes on a couple different engines, but it always came down to, at the end, being like, man, I just want to play a game. I don't want to build a game and think about all the stuff that you got to do for that. But with all these like 90s games, like that's the thing. Part of me in my brain's like, oh, it must be so easy to make. I think the reality is making this stuff nowadays is actually not that easy, because making it look like this back in the day was the only choice you had. Nowadays, to make something like this, you have to make a lot of conscious decisions and figure out rendering tricks, and there's, you know, how old school do you want to go? Do you want to be like, I would never go the route of being like the guy who builds a game where it needs to run on, you know, it needs to be under 32 megabytes, and it needs to be able to be compiled and put onto an actual physical, is the ladder? Physical, like, you know, piece of media that works on a said old platform, like a Game Boy Advance cartridge. But so just a rendering engine like this would be fun, right? Like just, I don't know. I don't know how many there are out there. I'm assuming a lot of it can be done in Unity, where you just pick like the appropriate assets and you're on your way, add some filters, but I don't want to assume too much. I've definitely done that in the past. So there's our yellow key, I think. Ooh, ooh. I hear a lot of breathing. I hope it's these guys. I got sickled. Sickled up. I think that's our key over there, yeah. So I'm assuming... Nope, that was just a morale bonus. Alright. Happy Clown. Granulated soap wash with a smile. Manufactured in Umberg. Yeah, this feels like there's... I don't know. Very well could be just the developer of this map's own creation, but it feels like these there's like a world here. Also, I see saving in these levels probably not the best idea. This one seems like it's, unless they do the thing where oh well, maybe they are going to do the things. I don't remember seeing a blue door anywhere. I'm assuming. Yep. Ah, the kills have reset. Okay, I've taken back everything I have said. This is probably going to be a little bit longer than we planned for. Sometimes you used to be able to count, like... I can't remember coming up the stairs. Oh, no. You used to be able to tell, like, how far you were in your progress based off of the kills. But that doesn't seem to be the case with this one. It seems to be resetting. So, okay, we got a little journey ahead of us. Ooh! Oh, I didn't realize that they were shooting mortars. It doesn't seem like they are. Huh. I don't know. Ooh, almost took that one to the face. Oh, man. Yeah, there's so many boomer tuners. I could go on and on. I really do want to play, like, I have Hexen and Graven and Wrath that I feel like I'm definitely going to play on the channel at some point, maybe sooner than later. One I played that I thought I would enjoy a lot more, and this one might be for the Rogue kind of mini-series I was talking about. I only do a couple of runs on it just to kind of show it off and talk about it, is Nightmare Reaper. I loved the idea of Nightmare Reaper when it came out. I love the art style. The gameplay is tight. I love the whole rogue mechanics, but... Okay, there's the blue door. For whatever reason, I found myself kind of falling out of it after a while. It runs great on the Steam Deck. It starts to get kind of harder at some point. There's no doubt about that. And my progress did start to suffer because I am by far the world's not best gamer. Rivet gun in this game is so sick. It's like basically the rocket launcher. Oh, don't die. Don't die right here at the end. That'd be so embarrassing. Everybody would laugh. Everybody would laugh. Just focus mode. Sorry. Hold that thought. But yeah, for whatever reason, Nightmare Reaper, I put at least 15 hours into it. I think there's 30 or so. I kind of like the overworlds, like kind of weirdness too, where you're like in this hospital and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and you know, there's just I wanted more of that out of the game. The roguelike mechanics are great. The one thing I definitely did not like was the kind of, I don't want to say janky, but like the level up system is kind of weird in that, where you have to like play little levels. And there's like 4 different games you have to play to kind of manipulate the mechanics. That, to me, I could have done without, and I'll admit it did kind of turn me off, like, especially like the Pokemon one, where it's like, man, this is a great idea, but I just want to play a boomer shooter. I didn't really sign up to play Pokemon. But still a great game. I'll probably go back and revisit and play it some more, but that is... one of those that's like kind of like the iconic boomer shooter of the last couple of years that actually fell short. One that I'm definitely going to play and probably will play on the channel is Bolt Gun. I've talked about it. I love 40K. I play both tabletop and love the lore, love playing the games, but that one I know is good, and I've been like holding on to it because I know it's going to be a banger. There we go. Very nice. 9 minutes 57 seconds. Lovely. But that'll definitely be coming up someday. Oh man, that was fun. These are cool little levels. Oh no, here we go. I don't know what it's loading after this. It's probably loading the next custom level. And by judging, it's probably loading the endless one, especially based off of the load time here. Oh man, but let's say this. These were I may have missed one. There's maybe the Doom one is no, I think that's actually just a remake of the Doom 1 level. We'll check out some more of these endless levels in another Holodeck Hours. For now, I'm assuming... Okay, I just reloaded this level. I'm assuming you've played Dusk. If you haven't, I would definitely recommend it. These are super fun. If you have any questions about how to get these running, feel free to leave a comment. If you feel like I missed something from these, also feel free to leave a comment. But yeah, as always, appreciate the support on these. You know, these are just hopefully some interesting little tidbits of games that you may enjoy doing, or, you know, if you've played Dusk and you didn't know about these, hey, I've done my job, and I hope you have a fun little afternoon checking them out like I did. As always, commenting, supporting, liking the video helps the algorithm. I will probably be adding a few more to the series in the future, so keep an eye out for those. But yeah, folks, appreciate your time, and I'll catch you on the next one. Enjoy your time dusking out there.